This one requires a little bit of backstory to fully understand the situation, but if you wish to skip, that is also fine. My previous SP was an ex-boyfriend who I desperately tried to manifest back. I know that it is possible to manifest back an ex, but after almost a year I realized that I was still far too attached and too hurt from that relationship and couldn't properly let go. So, one day I just thought, well, I deserve better anyways. Very shortly after that, I met someone who is my current SP. He is everything that I liked in my last SP, and more. He is attractive, funny, shares my interests, and is just overall my dream guy. We got along very quickly and soon started talking more, spending time playing online games together, and texting almost daily. Things felt easy and natural with him, and he soon asked me to go see a movie with him. Something that, even though neither of us had ever used that term clearly, was a date to me. It was wonderful. We met up hours before the movie to hang out and talk, and ended up cuddling in the cinema, and he even proposed. We still go out for drinks with his friends after. However, once we left the cinema, he asked me if I was hoping for a relationship. I replied that of course I do, and he confessed that actually there was another woman who he also had feelings for and that he was conflicted because he likes me as well. I was completely shocked but tried to not react to that at all. We still went out for drinks after and continued to talk and joke around as usual. When we walked back to the train station together, he offered to spend time on the weekend. I still felt very positive then, but when I got home my emotions caught up with me, and I had a bit of a breakdown that I now regret very much. I ended up crying to a friend on the phone for an hour, and sent a really long message to him declaring my feelings. After that, he ghosted me. So the point is that I met a new SP after finally letting go of my ex. Things were going amazing, and also we went on a date to see a movie together. Also, I confessed my feelings to him. He said that there was someone else and ghosted me after that. At first, I just tried to manifest a text message from him, but I realized that once again I was becoming too attached, focusing more and the lack in the how, instead of living in the end of being in a relationship with him. After some struggles and focusing more on self-concept, I finally let go. I stopped desperately checking my phone and only focused on that wonderful relationship, knowing that he is already mine and things would unfold naturally. Fast forward to this Wednesday. I had an early lecture that morning, and on the way to university, I suddenly felt a very strong wave of missing him. I allowed the feeling to pass and then briefly imagined him being with me. We used to be in the same degree program, and there is a tree on campus that we sometimes sat under together. I imagined us there and calmed myself before I went about my day. Later, I was sitting near the same spot with some friends, as well as some other people I only knew briefly, when one of them suddenly said, "Oh, by the way, SP is going to come over." At first, I panicked. I even considered leaving but decided to stay, because I wanted to see him and possibly talk about what happened. When he arrived, I think he noticed me immediately. At first, he didn't fully acknowledge me, but he soon came up to me and asked if we could talk. We went away from the group for a bit, and he started apologizing to me, saying that he was just overwhelmed and didn't know how to properly respond to my feelings. Knowing that I had created the situation, I had naturally already forgiven him. We continued talking for a bit. He brought up the woman briefly, but I ignored that completely, knowing that he will soon make up his mind to be with me. In the end, we agreed that we both want to spend time together again. I was so happy and excited that I flung myself into his arms. He instinctively caught me and held me for a moment before we let go again and went back to the group. After that, things once again felt so wonderful and natural. Even though he had originally come to hang out with his other friends, he continued to include me in the conversation, asking me questions and laughing at my jokes. I also noticed him looking in my direction and smiling at me a lot. When everyone gathered their things to leave, he once again promised that he would text me, and if possible make time for me in the coming days. Everything is falling into place now. My 3D is finally catching up with my reality, and I am so excited for what's to come. My advice to you is, please remember that circumstances do not matter at all. Only focus on your end. Don't dread how you'll get there. I did not imagine things to happen like this at all, and yet everything about it felt perfectly natural. Don't focus on just getting that text back. Don't get frustrated if you think you're not seeing any movement. Things will happen naturally for you if you only focus on your desired outcome.